But I want to introduce you to 3 different types of procrastination that you're going to face along the way. And the first type is what we call classic procrastination. So as you start to head out towards miracle territory and you turn it on 120 and you start moving, you're going to come up against 3 types of procrastination in this journey. The first one is classic procrastination. And classic procrastination is very straightforward. It is consciously delaying what you know you should be doing. Right? So I come home from work at night, there's a stack of bills on the kitchen counter. I know I have to pay the bills, but I'm tired and I'm exhausted, and so rather than paying the bills, right, I'm going to sit on the couch and I'm just going to zone out and I'm going to watch SportsCenter. I don't really watch SportsCenter. I'm just trying to connect with the guys. I watch Modern Family reruns. That's what I do. But this is not the most dangerous type of procrastination because we know when we are doing it. Just by a show of hands, honestly, how many of you would raise your hand and you would say, yeah, Rory, no doubt about it. I know I struggle with procrastination in at least some area of my life. How many of you would openly admit that? All right. So that's about 90% of the room there. Imagine the other 10% of you will raise your hand later. Some of you will get that joke later. It'll come. Just wait for it. But this is not the most dangerous type of procrastination because we know when we are doing it. There's another type of procrastination that I invented. Well, I didn't invent it, actually, but I coined the term, right? So when my first book, Take the Stairs, hit the New York Times, suddenly I'm on national TV, and I'm supposed to be teaching people about how to overcome procrastination so that they can take action and grow their influence, and yet here I am someone who has struggled with procrastination. So rather than calling what I have procrastination, I invented a new term, which I really love because not only does it more aptly describe what I struggle with, I think it almost sounds intelligent and academic and sophisticated. And so rather than calling what I had procrastination, I invented this term that I really love. I like to call it creative avoidance. And creative avoidance is different because it is unconscious. Creative avoidance is dangerous because it is unconsciously filling your day and filling your life with menial and trivial activities. It can look like we're working. It can look like we're working on our goals, but a lot of times we're talking more about the goals than we are working towards them. A lot of times we're just being busy. We're not actually making progress. We can be in the office long hours. We can be moving really fast during the day. We could be in a lot of meetings, on a lot of conference calls, pushing a lot of paper, answering a lot of emails. And yet when you get to the end of the day and you look back on what you accomplished with that day, if you're honest with yourselves, very often we will realize that we were nothing more than busy, just being busy. And distraction is a dangerously deceptive saboteur of our goals. Most of us that don't achieve the goal, when we don't hit the New York Times, we don't make the money, we don't launch the company, right? We don't get to where we want to go. It's not because of a lack of will. It's not because of a lack of talent. God's blessed you abundantly with talent. It's because we have allowed ourselves to become distracted. And that is why we're not getting there. When we think success is for someone else, it's not. It's for you. The question is, can you take the stairs? Can you develop enough focus so that you can stay on target, so that you can stay on path? Because this is the secret of ultra performers. Now, there's a third type of procrastination that I want to introduce you to. And this one really affects all of you. Because this one affects the chronic overachievers. This one is subtle because it affects the people that you wouldn't think to be procrastinators. It affects the people who are the do-gooders, the checklisters, the taskmasters, the leaders, the executives, the owners. And it's a term that we also created that we call priority dilution. And priority dilution is different from the first two because it has nothing to do with being lazy or apathetic or disengaged or distracted. But it is the same net result that we end our days with our most significant priorities left incomplete, not because we're lazy, but because we have allowed our attention to shift to less important, less significant, but perhaps more urgent tasks. This person's life is characterized not as a state of distraction, but as a constant state of interruption. Always falling victim to whatever is latest and loudest. And so all of us, as we're journeying towards miracle territory, as we would call it, and as he talks about in the book, you're going to face these three types of procrastination. I promise the moment you walk out of the room and you're by yourself, right, you're going to start bumping up into this. And so the question becomes, okay, if procrastination in its various forms is the problem that we have to overcome, then what is the solution? Like, what is the remedy here? And I'm happy to share with you that there is a remedy. There is a solution. And in fact, I think the whole thing can be boiled down to one simple word. And I'm going to tell you what the word is, but I just want to warn you up front that you might not like it. Because even though it is simple, it's not at all easy. And even though it is the truth about accomplishing whatever miracle territory you're chasing, it's not really popular. And I feel very confident saying that none of you want to hear this because I don't even like to hear it. It all comes down to this one little word, discipline. Discipline. The most successful people in the world simply have the discipline to do the things they know they should be doing even when they don't feel like doing it. They have the discipline to take the stairs when everyone is the escalator. They have the discipline to say, I may be the top #1 motivational speaker in the world, and yet I'm doing something I've never done before, so it's okay for me to get a coach. It's okay for me to bring someone on. They have the discipline to do the things that other people aren't willing to do because they know, we back it up one slide again, they know that if you have diluted focus, you will get diluted results.